There's so many fun things to do in London, but my favorite thing to do is look for our next delicious meal. Good morning! Today is a wonderful day, and Doug and I are going to be going to Notting Hill, where we will check out Portobello Market, but most importantly, we're going to eat at Ottolenghi. I'm really excited to try it out. They have a few spots here, but the one that we are going to be hitting up is the one in Notting Hill. Ottolenghi is a celebrity chef with multiple restaurants in London, known for his delicious food and best-selling cookbooks. We were dazzled upon entering the restaurant, where we were faced with an endless sea of pastries. This Persian love cake caught my eye. It's a very sweet little treat made with ground almonds, topped with mascarpone, ground pistachios, and pomegranate. It was crunchy and caramelized on the outside, moist and sweet on the inside. I'm still in love with this Persian love cake. We also ordered shakshouka, which is a Middle Eastern dish with eggs poached in tomato sauce mixed with spices. Oh my god, it was so good. The spices were perfectly balanced with a sweet and tart tomato sauce. I'm usually a sweets breakfast person, but I'd have savory breakfasts every day if they tasted as extraordinary as this shakshouka. Ottolenghi exceeded my expectations, and it's one of those restaurants that I really wish we had here at home. Afterwards, we made some obligatory London tourist visits. Surprisingly, the Tower of London was a lot more fun than we expected. We spent at least a couple of hours enjoying its charming town setup, seeing the crown jewels, attracting their enormous ravens, and learning from its exhibits. Okay, so we're finally at St. John, and this is the place that a friend of mine who used to live here in London, and he said this is the place to go to. He's the one that told me about haggis, so I knew he had good taste. Unfortunately, right now they aren't serving dinner. They are serving from the bar menu, but we did order two of their best dishes, which is the Welsh rarebit and the bone marrow. Alright, so we finally got the Welsh rarebit, which I realized is not actually rabbit. It's just basically toasted cheese on it.
It's also known as a Welsh rabbit, which is why you thought it was rabbit. But it contains no rabbit meat.
The lady did help us out. She said that the way you eat this is you make little grooves in here, and then you pour Worcestershire sauce on it. For a simple dish, that's surprisingly really good. This is probably the best cheese toast I have ever had. They're kind of like a little spiciness and then like a vinegary, very umami taste overall. I'm kind of okay that it's not rabbit. Okay, now we are ready to tackle the bone marrow. Bone marrow dishes I've had in the past really didn't have that much flavor, but St. John's were supposedly legendary, so I had to try them myself. Our server also taught us how to do this, how to eat it right. So she says we use this thingy to scoop out the bone marrow and put it on the toast, and then you sprinkle some of the salt and parsley and eat it that way. So let's do it. Okay, let's try this famed bone marrow. This bone marrow has a very pronounced taste. All previous bone marrows I've had, there's really not much taste behind it. This has like a more, I don't know, it has more character, you know? You think that the accompaniments are going to overpower the bone marrow, but it can stand up for its own. It's really good. Alright, so for dessert, we got the Eccles cake with Lancashire cheese. Eccles cake is filled with currants, and the cheese, apparently, it's like creamy and tangy if it's nice and fresh. If it's cheap, then it'll be crumbly and gross. So let's see what they give us. A little crumbly. It's definitely not the gross one. If anything, I'd have to say it's got like more neutral tones, not too tangy, pretty creamy. Whoa, it is sticky. The bottom is pretty sticky. Oh, it's very flaky. These currants kind of taste like alcohol and dates. It's a little more tart. It's good, it's just as sticky, you see. What I love about this is it's not too sweet. So now I'm gonna try it with the cheese. It's good. It's like you're having a cream cheese Danish, you know, kind of. But obviously a lot more elegant flavors from the blackcurrant and fancy Lancashire cheese. Okay, I think Doug and I agree that that was an amazing meal. Every time we go to London, we're definitely gonna make a stop here. Maybe a second stop before we leave. Maybe. We'll see. Sadly, our trip is coming to an end with one more day in London. Thanks for watching, and come back next week for the final day.